I've been talking with you about several things that affect arrow accuracy, and one of the things I showed last week was how a lighted knock can affect your groups either for the positive or for the negative, and that was relative to two things. One was the thickness of that knock, because some of the lighted knocks are actually thicker so that they have enough material to be strong enough for that internal battery and LED unit. So the thickness, depending on your stock knocks thickness and how your knocks and your D-loop were tied, can instantly affect accuracy, but how it actually snaps on has a huge impact as well. So I've done a lot of testing on this, and I've written some articles and showed some examples, but I'm going to show you quick what this variation is. I've got 3 different knocks here. All these knocks are the same except for the thickness or the amount of material inside of the throat, whether it's opened up more or whether it's tighter. And this can happen with all kinds of knocks, not just lighted knocks, but also knocks from different manufacturers. Unfortunately, there is no industry standard to where they're all the same. So here's some key things to look out for and some important things in addition to that thickness and how it fits in your D-loop and that spacing for the pinch. This has to do with how it actually snaps on and how easy it'll come off. The harder it is to come off, the more inaccuracy you're gonna have. And listen, if you're a low poundage shooter, that string tension is going to be weaker, and if the knock fit is too tight, it's going to magnify poor results. If you back your limbs out, so if you're not shooting your limbs maxed out and you back them out to get to the poundage that you like, that's fine. But if your knock fit is too tight, then that looser string that's going to be caused from backing those limbs out are going to give you a poor result. So here, take a look at this. Here's a knock right here. I'm going to put that knock on. This knock, you can see, spins freely and it comes off easy. This is what would be a perfect fit, okay? You can see it can slide. The throat of that knock allows for the exact measurement of your center serving. Okay, now look at this. So here's a knock. Watch. Louder snap. And now you can see this right here is going to cause a problem. If your knock snaps on and when you turn it, your D-loop is also turning and your peep is turning, that is going to greatly affect accuracy, because it's going to cause you to build a flat spot in the center of that serving where you're clipping on. It's going to build a flat little channel, and that's kind of like the back rudder on a boat. So if it snaps in there and your string starts to rotate, it's already wanting to turn your arrow off that rest. So you don't want something that's tight like that. You want to be able to have the ability to have some play in the throat. Now here's another example. So this would be an example of way too loose. You can see this is like much too loose. I can actually turn it this way as well quite a bit. So that would be kind of on the extreme side of loose. When it comes to accuracy, looser is always going to be more accurate, but obviously in a hunting situation, you don't want this to easily just pop off if you have to let that bow down. So knock fit affects accuracy. Here's a quick look, okay? So this is an example right here of too tight, okay? There's too tight. This is at 20 yards. Right here, proper fit, okay? So proper fit on a knock, but then if my serving diameter or the knocks fit tighter, the group instantly changes and the ability for that group to be tighter. Go out to 40 yards, proper fit, again, black circle, proper fit, 40 yards, and then you look at too tight where we've got this knock that's causing you to do that. Okay, so how do you fix it? Depending on the knock that you want to choose and you want to shoot, what you'll have to do is choose a serving thickness to where when that's served, whether you're doing it or you take it to your shop, You want to make sure that that center serving uses a thickness. Now in this case, for the nocks I've been using a .021. So you can either have the tail under as you serve for a certain thickness, but if you have that tail under and you serve it for about 2 inches and then you check it and it's slightly too tight, then go ahead and trim that tail and keep serving so that you have no tail under, and then that'll be a little bit tighter, a little bit smaller on overall diameter, and your knock will fit more like it should, okay? Now, if you have a really tight knock like this, and let's say the knock you want from your factory serving is much too tight, I can almost hang this bow, in fact, off that one. Then I would go down to a .018, and I would do the same thing. Serve a few inches, check the fit. If it's still slightly too tight, remove the tail, trim that tail off. As long as you've served about 2 inches, you're not gonna have to worry about that slippage. Go ahead and finish that serving, and you're gonna get the desired tightness that you want. Throat fit is absolutely critical to accuracy. Here's the results from some tests, and here's exactly what to look for and how easily you can fix it.